Hey everyone, it is Corinna Arnold. How are you all doing? This is your August energy reading for 2020. I don't even know where to start. My intention was to actually do this on Lionsgate yesterday. That wasn't possible for me. That was an interesting energy, very intense energy coming through. I could feel that energy processing through me. I wasn't feeling well. Had some migraines, had lots of aches and pains that I usually don't have. I could feel energy coming through as we approached that Lionsgate energy portal. And by the time yesterday, which was Lionsgate, came through, because I'm taping this on the Sunday, the 9th, I had the weirdest experience. I had the deepest level of brain fog. I don't know if any else of you had experienced that, but I was almost, it was so severe. I couldn't keep my thoughts collected. I couldn't keep a series of thoughts. I just had to just surrender into that moment. It almost like I thought, am I having a stroke? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. My brain wasn't working like it usually does. And I'm pretty in my brain. I'm pretty fast thinking. Other than when I'm doing this work, it's not that my brain is always on the go because I've moved past that now, but it's fairly sharp. I'm listening all the time and hearing things. I couldn't hear anything like I usually can from the divine. It was just a very odd day, and was guided to do some meditation later in the day to integrate the vibration. And as I did that, I started to feel so much better. And really worked on grounding that energy down and clearing my field. I was aware with this new energy this time around that there was a lot of clearing again. Um, and what I'm hearing is it has to, because our physical body, our emotional body was having to match the new vibration that is here on earth. And that vibration, which I don't know if I talked about yet, but I have talked to some friends of mine about it, is very much like a Garden of Eden energy. And what is that, right? I hear you guys saying, well, what is that? There are times when I'm in this energy that I feel like I'm living in heaven on earth. I'm very, there's a coherence energy here that you can step into energetically that allows you to feel this euphoric connection, peace, love, joy, the synchronization with the new earth energy that's here. And the only way I can describe it is heaven on earth, Garden of Eden energy. And I think what they're telling me is some of you have had glimpses of that, especially being outside in nature right now, because it is summer here. Being outside in nature and just having that moment when you're watching the leaves on the trees is what they're showing me, or you're just quietly watching the creek go by or the waves crash in. There's a synchronization that's happening within yourself and mother, and where you feel connected and one with her, and this sense of really truly living in paradise. And what they're saying to me right now is there's some of us that are hyper aware of that because we're grounding that new frequency of paradise, heaven on earth frequency into the field. And so perhaps there are some of us who are experiencing that more than others. And if you haven't quite experienced that yet, that's okay. And if you've had just small little glimpses, that's okay. Everyone is exactly where they need to be on the journey is what they're showing me. But there is definitely, again, as things are starting to become even more tumultuous in some places on the earth, there is a number of us that are grounding in the frequency of love, and the highest frequency of love. And that doesn't mean that those people don't have turbulence happening within themselves as well. as things are breaking free and releasing is what I'm hearing. But this is definitely a time where if you are paying attention, you have the ability to be very grounded, connected in that new vibration of love, joy, literally heaven on earth. And if we can let our heart coherence and our heart energy connect in with that more and more and more, what they're showing me is that just continues to spread that energy out into the field so other people can connect to it too. Hopefully I'm making sense. But it's just two things that they want to talk about. My experience in Lionsgate, which was very bizarre yesterday. There is no way I could have done this video. My train of thought was not at all coherent. It was, honestly, it felt like my brain was scrambled. I can't even explain what was really happening, other than maybe I'm just hearing an energetic purging, whatever that means. There's some type of energy purging, releasing. I don't know why they're using the word purging. It was just a crazy day, intense energy coming through. I had emotions coming through, things, it just was a heightened energy. So I'm reminded of a message that one of our friends added to our intuitive guidance Facebook page. And it was that wave, riding that wave. And I was definitely, and I think a few of you were definitely riding that wave. And anyways, I landed on the beach. Thank goodness. And I know you guys did too. And if you're still riding the wave, because they just said to me, some of us have learned to be stronger surfers than others right now. If you're still riding the wave, just know you're going to end up on the beach and you're going to feet on the sand and you're going to feel quite centered and back grounded. And if you're still feeling that kind of out of sorts way, go back to meditation, get back into Mother Nature. I spend a lot of time in the morning just being and connecting with Mother Nature out in my yard. But it was meditation that really helped me come back into my body and help this, what they're calling synchronization effect, to happen, where I was synchronizing everything again. And there was brain and heart and body coherence. It was a very interesting experience for me. I don't think I've quite been through anything like that before. So anyways, we're here. I'm on the other side of it. I hope you are too. I still feel what they're saying is there'll be another 3 days of this going on. But stay in it. Stay on the ride is what they just said to me. Stay on the ride. Okay, with all that said, let's get into the August energy reading. I'm going to pick from a new deck that I just got, which is actually probably an old deck for lots of you, which is the Sacred Travel deck by Denise Linn. And I know this deck's been around for a while. But let's tune in and ask for guidance for all of you watching, whether it's now or months from now when you're seeing this video. What is it that you most need to know to guide you to your best life? How do we navigate the energies of this now moment for the next few weeks? What is the most important thing we need to know, please, as we travel through what they're calling a new landscape? A new landscape. I just heard 2 cards, so I'm going to pull 2 cards, please. Just asking for guidance for the next few weeks. What do we most need to know? I'm going to take that because they just said take that card that just flipped. It's for one more card. Another card that just flipped. Okay. Should we start? No, I just did 2 more cards from Energy Oracle deck, and then we'll start doing the reading, and I'll pull more cards as we go through it. So I just heard 2 more cards again. What is it that we most need to know to help navigate us to our best life? Coming into the energy for the next few weeks, please. I just heard there's going to be lots going on. I just said globally, lots going on around the world, which there always is, of course. But I just heard the word heightened. There's lots of transition, lot going on, is what they just said to me. Also saying as this wave of energy works its way around the globe, you know, I feel like it's releasing what they're saying, old patterns, and we're going to see a reaction to that, is what I'm hearing. Because they just said to me, releasing old habits and old patterns isn't always easy. It isn't always easy because you're completely changing who you are in many aspects. And so that takes a massive amount of energy, a massive amount of concentration, a massive amount of effort, a massive amount of presence is what they're just saying. And so that's why the energy has to be so strong. They're just saying the energy has to be so strong now because that's the push forward. That's the push to move beyond limitations is what they just said. They just said to me, we're still in a place, not all of us, they said, but many of us around the globe are still in a place where the only way that we transition is through a level of discomfort, a level of pain. They just said to me, we'd like to open up the opportunity, open up the door, open up the possibility that transition can also happen through joy and love. And in fact, those transitions are more powerful than the original catalyst of pain and discomfort. But there's a habit here of pain and discomfort being the catalyst and possibility for change and transition. But that doesn't always have to be so, and they want to remind you of that right now. They also want to remind you, which is a message that I got many years ago, they're reminding me. They just said to me, we've told you this many years ago, thank you for the reminder, that transition also happens easier, happens more cohesively with the energy of compassion and love and joy. So they just said to me, tune into that energy, see what you can do with that energy to cause transition, change, abundance, possibility, peace to come into your life. Yeah, they're very talkative today. They just said, if everyone can do that, can you imagine how much ease there would be in the world if we could move beyond the habit of having to only transition through the energy of chaos and pain. We no longer need to keep doing it that way. This is what this new energy has brought to the world, the potentiality and the possibility that there is another way. And they just said to me, there's great leaders around the world that have come here specifically to teach us this. And we need to seek out those people who are teaching or have the teachings coming through them, is the better way to say, that transition and the highest level of transition and the most permanent Thank you. The most permanent level of transition happens only through the vibration of love and light. Because what they're saying is yes, we've been in the habit of transitioning through fear and discomfort, but they said that always comes back in a looped energy where we are pushing forward for change, and then you see it come back in a loop. And thank you. That's why they're saying that's why history repeats itself still here. That's why history continues to repeat itself where we feel like we're making progress and there's a level of discomfort. There's a level of push forward. There's a level where heightened anger, heightened discomfort. And they said, if you look, this is what's happening now because this is the habit. So it continues to create this looped energy. And so we think we're making progress, and we are in some aspects, is what they said. We are in some aspects. But history repeats itself. And why does it repeat itself? Because we're still allowing fear to be the motivating and discomfort and anger to be the motivating factor for change. And until that shifts, we can't vibrationally release the looped patterns in existence here on Earth. The only way we move forward and progress without history repeating itself is coming and moving forward and changing through the energy of compassion and love and joy. They just said to me, that's it. That is the only way. And they just said, and that's why we've come to teach you this. And there are many teachers here that are teaching this right now. And there's a reason why they're teaching this right now. They just said, all you have to do is look to the teachings of the Dalai Lama to understand the highest level of vibration. The highest potentiality for permanent change is through the vibrations of love, compassion, and joy. They just said to me, you can giggle your way to enlightenment. You can giggle your way into enlightenment, into freedom, into a new pattern. Because you're releasing those old energetic patterns, those old synaptic loops. Again, what goes on externally within the field globally also is going on within our own energetic vibration. As within, so without. As above, so below. Yes? As above, so below on Earth. And it's these synaptic loops that you continue to see habits, or history repeating itself. And the only way you can cause a level of fragmentation enough to completely transmute it and release it is through the vibration of love and light and compassion. They just said to me again, that's it. That's it. Joy. It's one of the things, that I say sometimes often when I'm having moments of struggle. My sister will know this, and certainly my family hears it sometimes, as I will say out loud, where's the joy? Where is the joy? Because I'm very aware that I am out of sync, that we are out of sync collectively. Where's the joy in life again? Because I know it's there, but I'm not harmoniously in sync with it right at that moment. I'm pulled out of it. I'm in a different vibration of survival or whatever else is happening within me. And I will physically say those words, where's the joy? And they're just saying, many of us have been crying out that call. Where is the joy? Where is the joy? Where is the joy? And they just said, some of you are asking, yeah, where is the joy? And they just said, it's always here. It's always here within your own heart. Within your own heart, that is where the joy always lies. And so it's that incoherence of thought that causes the lack of joy in your life. Those old pattern loops of thought pulls you out of the potentiality for joy, is what they just said to me. Okay. They're very talkative today. So they, for anyone that's new, is just my guides and my angels, my higher self, messages that come through. Okay, let's get into the cards and we'll see what else they have to say through the cards. So the first card is stepping into power. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. Stepping into power. The next card is a wandering path. Enjoy the journey. And they just talk about this joy. Are you enjoying the journey? Is what they just said to me. Where's the joy? Are you actually present enough to be enjoying your journey? And they just said to me, no matter what, they just said to me, look at this individual's on a journey. And that's where he has his greatest power, is through the presence of the journey. It's not ever in the destination, is what they just said to me. We all have destinations, we all have goals, we all have things we want to achieve. But the power is not in the destination, not arriving in the destination. The power for transition, the power for transmutation, all lies within the journey, within the now moment. And can you be at peace with exactly where you're at in your journey right now? They just showed me a key. That's truly the key. And that's where your power always lies. It lies in your ability to surrender into the moment. It lies in your ability to find joy no matter what path you're on. And they know that that's challenging for people who are perhaps unwell physically or going through a challenging situation, have had a loss in a loved one. And they're knowing that sometimes you're not able to hold on to that vibration all the time because of those challenging moments. But they just said to me, could you hold on to it for 5 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 15, through the art of meditation, through the art of gratitude? Could you hold on to that energy for only that amount of time? They just said to me, again, we're so extremist in our thinking that we think we have to be, again, there all the time or we're not at all. And they said that's never the case. The power is always in the middle way. The power is always in just those few minutes can transition the future and release the past. Transmute the old energy, transmute the illness, transmute the fear, and bring forward potentiality that is, well, they're just saying beyond your wildest dreams, so why even focus on it? Why even focus on it? They just said to me, be here now as much as you can, as much as possible, even if it's only 15 minutes. That might be enough to start transitioning and changing your life. Okay, well, here's the next card. There's the energy of appreciation. That's what they're guiding you to. Can you be in a place of enjoying the journey, no matter where your path is taking you? Can you be in a place of gratitude? Can you be in a place of joy? And they just said to me, even if it's a matter of bringing forward those moments of joy, if you're not in a place where you think this is joyful, if you're going through a challenging time, can you bring back the memories of joy for a moment? Can you bring back the emotion of a joy for a moment? And allow that energy first to just come into your field. So they said, so your physical body, so your emotional body gets tied into it and feels it, remembers what that feels like. And then you sink into it and allow it to keep expanding and coming forward. And so there's an expansion that comes in when the body starts to remember that specific vibration. Hope that makes sense what they're saying. The next card that we got was Goddess of the Moon. I think this is more of the powers within you. You know, here's the moon energy again on both of them, really. I'm feeling, I know this is the light coming from the lamp, but again, the power is within you. You hold the power. You hold the power. There's significance here in the male and the female energy, and finding balance in that too within ourselves right now. And in relationships, they're saying to me, allowing each of the male and female energy to have step into its own power, and the balance comes through acknowledging both are powerful. They just said to me, let your inner power lead the way on the journey. Let your inner power lead the way. Let your inner voice lead the way. Let your inner knowledge lead the way. They just said to me, you're powerful. Do you know how powerful you are? You're powerful. I keep saying it, and I'm like, I'm not going to edit. They just said to me, there's some of you that are very afraid of the power. Okay, thank you. The reason why they're saying that is some of us in the past have misused the power in whatever way. And so, oh, interesting. They're saying some of us have come to karmically clear up that energy loop. And so when some of us have a lot of resistance to stepping into our power, it's primarily because we've misused it in the past. And so this is the opportunity for you to find balance in that and to transmute and release that old pattern by starting a new pattern. Again, they said always by coming with the energy of the right intention of love, light, and joy. And they just said to me, power is not a negative word. They just said to me, power is not a 4-letter word. It's actually a 5-letter word for fifth dimensional. Ooh, that's fascinating. Fifth dimensional energy, power. It's time for us all to understand, respect, and step into our power. And they're saying those that misused their power in the past truly in this time frame have the greatest opportunity to step in their power the most, for the potentiality to shift that timeline and to heal the energetic loop. So they just said to me, don't be afraid of your power. Have clarity around intention. Have clarity around egoic presence if it presents itself again because of an old loop. But you have the power to move beyond it. Interesting. What other cards did they want? I know they wanted me to pull a Keepers of the Light card. So they had me pull that deck down. So let's tune in here to Keepers of the Light. We have further message, please, from the Keepers of the Light. Card flip. So we got Isis, magic in manifesting. What does it say? Your dreams, vision, goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. There you go. Look, there's the blue again, right? You got to pay attention to the colors as they come up. These two cards are connected through color energy. The power is within you. They just said to me, you are creating a new way, a new reality, a new hope, a new humanity. a new hope and a new humanity, and that comes through you and you alone, is what they just said. It's never without you. It's never happening to you. It's always from within you. Always. So don't be afraid of your power. I don't think she looks like she's afraid of her power. She's focused, she's connected, right? She's connected. She has her third eye open. She's speaking the truth. She's hearing clearly. She's got her wings. I just said wings of a dove. That's interesting. Wings of a dove. So the energy of peace. We know that there's strength in the divine goddess, the divine feminine energy rising in all of us, whether you're male or female. I just had to pull one more card from the Keepers of the Light. So we got another message here coming through. I just heard, don't be afraid to be you. So I'm not sure if there's someone specifically that needs to hear that message. But don't be afraid to be you. That you are required just as you are in all your magnificence. There you go, the Buddha energy. It's interesting because they were having me talk about the Dalai Lama, right? And of course, Buddha is an energy that I vibrationally align to with ease. Let's put it that way. Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection. Again, trust your inner voice. There you go. There's the message again. Trust your inner voice. Trust your inner voice. Trust the truth that's coming through you. They just said they know that they've said this a lot, but it continues to be true. And so they just said to me, so we'll continue to say it. There is a lot of distraction energy right now still. A lot of things you can allow yourself to be distracted by. All that matters is what lies within. All that matters is what lies within. That's it. They just said to me, don't believe the hype. Go back to your own heart. Go back to your own inner guidance. Go back to your own center of love. And giggle your way into enlightenment. I love that statement. I just keep saying it. Giggle your way into enlightenment. They keep showing me the laughing Buddha. The laughing Buddha. They just said to me, coherence, balance happens from within. They just said to me, you could be in the middle of chaos, the middle of war, the middle of and when there was the harshest of realities. And even in those moments, there's the potentiality to go within and find peace and love and joy. There's always that potential. And they just said to me, it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to allow that to come through us. I just said that's why we're here. To move through the hope of transition to a new reality. And they just said to me, I think this is Buddha talking, that the transition into new reality always starts from within. It always is from within. And then you will start to see it transform outside yourself. It's never the opposite way. You just said again, never. That's not the way the universe works. You just said that's not the way coherence works. That's not the way synchronization works. You are the magnet. You are the life force. You are the creator. Transition, enlightenment, love, and your willingness to do so all lies within. Peace lies within. Joy lies within. Contentment lies within. Surrender lies within. Peaceful duty lies within. Not sure what that means. Peaceful duty. Anything else? He just said to me, have fun with it. Have fun with it. They know it seems very serious right now, but it can't get better with more seriousness. It's just not the way it works. More seriousness can still cause change, but it doesn't change the loop. They're like, we want you guys to get this today. They're really serious today about this. We can march, we can yell, we can do all these things, we can protest, we can do it all. And yes, it's going to cause a change. But if it's not in alignment with love, if it's not in alignment with joy, if it comes from fury, if it comes from anger, if it comes from a sense of betrayal, if it comes from any that with the deepest of compassion, they said, with the deepest of compassion, and they know how challenging this is. And they know that the habit is to change through the difficulty, through the pain body, but it always comes back. He says, haven't you not seen this in your history time and time again in different versions? So how do we move out of it? We move out of it through the vibration of love and joy. That is it. And if you're not coming from this place, you are not in service to humanity. All you're doing is perpetuating the loop to have a modification of change for a short duration of time, whether it's 10 years or 100 years, for the loop to come back in a different form, but with the same energy signature, expressed in a slightly different way, because we still haven't got it. Again, no judgment, only love from them. But they want us to get it. There's the window and opportunity to get it. And they hope for us that we do. Because they said, if you knew it was, I just can feel the emotion. If you knew it was on the other side, waiting for you, why are you hesitating? Why are you staying in the loop? I just said, if you only knew. If you only knew. Whew. And that feeling that I'm getting, was just a massive surge of love. And this feeling of hope. That we can do it. Gosh, I hope we can do it. Okay. Whew. Wow. They're coming through strong today. Let's pull one card on self-care. There's the card that flipped out. Oh gosh, they're so brilliant. What's your intention? You hold the power. What are you focusing on? Focus your energy. There's amazing power in your strong intention. You hold the power, they just said to me. What is your intention? Where are you coming from? You want to move through the energy of fear and anger, or do you want to transmute it through the energy of love and compassion? There is an energy happening on Earth, and I'm seeing it quite a bit. Mob mentality. Everyone tuning into the injustice, and don't get me wrong, I understand it. I understand it. They have compassion for it. I have compassion for it. Someone is hurt. We want to see it change. But all too often it goes to anger and hatred. Why? The most powerful way to change it is through love and compassion. And let me be really clear, is what they're just saying. Let me be clear on this. Love and compassion is not inaction. Love and compassion is not allowing a behavior to continue, but it's having enough compassion for someone and enough love to do it in a loving way, not in a mob mentality, not in hate, not in anger. How does this help? What's your intention? They just said to me, what the hell are you here for? You want to do it all over again? You want to just have a mob mentality again? I guess, let's go. But there's a potential for something else. What's your energy focusing on? Is it focusing on the fear? Is it focusing on the lack? Or is it focusing on the potential for change in the most loving way possible? Something happens. We know there needs to be a change. What is the most loving path possible to allow this to happen for the best and for the benefit of all? And what we're seeing, what I'm seeing, and what they want to focus on, because they're bringing up some things that I've been seeing, is we automatically, because of habit, because of historical looping, because of synaptic patterning within our brains and programming within our brains, we're going, unfortunately, into mom mentality. It's not helping. It will push a change into effect momentarily in time, but the same thing will come back in another way, in another form, guaranteed. And what they're hoping for us all is that we can move beyond it. There is potential for that. And my God, they hope that we can do it. And I believe that we can. But we have to be, what they're saying is we have to be so hyper present when that comes forward, when our fear is driving the ship and allowing for hatred and mob mentality to come forward. They just said to me, you have the power. You have the power to stop it in its tracks. You are the only one who has the power to stop it in its tracks, because you stop it within yourself first. Rather than going into hatred and fear for the change to exist, come into the sense of love and compassion, understanding people's fears and actions, and then asking what is the most loving and compassionate way we can make this change coherently, responsibly, effectively, in all directions of time. That is the only intention. And that is the only thing that will allow change to happen permanently here on Earth. I'm just going to pull one last card. They want me to pull surrender. I know they're being very strong today, but there's a reason why this message is being strong. They just said to me, it's time we pay attention. The opportunity is now. The opportunity is now. Hatred never got us anywhere, and mob mentality never got us anywhere, and fear never gets us anywhere, ever. They're just saying, if you're really honest, if you're really, really honest with yourself, just in the last few weeks, you've probably done this yourself. Allowed fear to push you forward and make a change, allowed fear to be your primary motivator, allowed fear to judge someone without knowing their history or having compassion for them because you were afraid you'd be that yourself. Whatever that is, we've all done it in some aspect in the last few weeks, they just said. So until we're honest with ourselves, until we're hyper vigilant with our own energy and how we're holding our energy and intention, change won't happen. They just said it's not about posting a meme, it's not about posting a quote on your Facebook page, it's not about taking the newest trend on whatever it is. It's about living it every day in your life. That is the only change that has the highest level of effect. Let's be honest with ourselves. And again, honesty within ourselves does not mean judgment, does not mean more judgment, more self-hatred. Honesty within ourselves means, oh my gosh, yes, I was moving from fear. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, and I forgive myself. And how do I move this from a place of fear and lack and anger to a place of love and compassion and my willingness to stand in the vibration of possibility for joy for all concerned, and respect for each other, and compassion for each other and for ourselves. Being present and being aware is not self-judging. Again, an old habit, an old synaptic loop, an old programming. That is a very old programming that keeps you coming back into the same pattern, into the same habit, into the same loop. So the only way you can break that is through self-compassion and love and a hyper-vigilant self-awareness, where we are so present with ourselves and so kind and loving with ourselves that we can transmute the anger and the fear and the hatred to something completely different. The Great Awakening happens within. The Great Awakening happens when you see the truth of how you think and feel and move through this world. The Great Awakening happens within you. And I just heard Buddha say very quietly, always, always. Oh, we're on fire today. Okay, one last card about what we need to surrender into or out of, please, in the next few weeks to bring us towards our best life. What do we need to surrender into or out of to bring us into our best lives? What do we need to focus on to surrender into or out of to bring us into our best lives? Here you go. This is what the things I want to remind you. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone. I mean, is that not in alignment with what they just said? It all starts with you. Surrender the idea that you can fix the world. Surrender the idea that you can fix everything right now. Just surrender it. The only thing that you should be focusing on right now is you. Where's the hatred within yourself? Where's the fear within yourself? Where's the disconnect within yourself? Where's the judgments within yourself? They just said we spend so much time projecting outward. Look what they're doing wrong. Look what they're doing wrong. Look what they're doing wrong. They should be doing this. They should be wearing this. They should be acting like this. They're just saying it's all distraction energy, and it's not helping. Every time you look out there, they're just saying to me, every time you look outside yourself and you make a judgment, so-and-so should be doing something differently. So-and-so should know better. So-and-so, turn it back on yourself. There's something there that's pushing a button with you, that's telling you something about yourself. Some little piece of yourself you need to forgive. Some little piece of yourself you need to awaken to, because you're the judgmental one, or you're the one that's living in fear. It always starts with you. So when we're pointing on all these people around the globe that are living incorrectly, or living outside what we think is the right way, or following the wrong political party, whatever it is, they're just saying none of that helps. It's all divisive energy. You come back inside and you see within yourself where there's divisiveness. You see within yourself where there's lack of cohesion. You see within yourself where there's self-judgment and hatred. And that's the only power you ever have. And it's the greatest gift you'll ever give humanity. And they just said, if we can get that right, it's only up from here, is what they just said. Oh, that was a lot of energy that just came through. They had a lot to say today. They want you to know beyond anything, as their message always is, that you are loved beyond measure, and that you have the potentiality in every moment to live in Eden and paradise and heaven on earth. It's interesting, and the only thing that ever separated us from living in Eden and heaven on earth is when we bit into the apple of the ego, when we identified to something outside of ourselves. And so it's time again to put the apple back on the tree and come back within our own selves, through our own divinity, through our own connection to source, and stand in the energy of Eden. Because the potentiality is here for you. It always has been, but it is much more now. And they'd like to thank those that have held the energy enough for that to happen, because they've been waiting. Okay, beloveds, much love to you. I know that was a lot. Certainly energetically, some energy for me to process as well. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here with me. And thank you for sharing. If you made it this far, thank you for sharing this video if it's resonating with you, so we can move this message forward to even more people that have hearts open to hear it. Okay, you take good care. And as always, I send you love, as always.